Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Lydine, if you don't mind, or Kendall, admitting people as they join us here, that would be great. So welcome to the Detroit 2030 District Earth Day Lunch and Learn. We're excited to have you here. We're excited to have this great panel focusing on wonderful, the 3 R's for Earth Day. It's very fitting. Go ahead, put your name and company in the chat box. We have 3 presenters. We're going to listen to each of them and then do our questions at the end. Feel free to put your questions into the chat box and we will get to them. Sometimes the presenters will answer the questions directly into the chat box, and other times we will cover them at the end. But just so you know, this is being recorded, so if you miss something, don't feel bad. It will be uploaded to the Detroit 2030 District YouTube channel. So thank you for joining us. We're super excited to have all of you here. We have a large group today. I'm going to give the world's fastest introductions to maybe some people who haven't been familiar with our program, but most of you are. I know most everybody here today. So if you don't know, the 2030 Architecture Challenge is what prompted the creation of 2030 districts. It launched the first district in Seattle in 2010 with the support of the Department of Energy with a goal of making it replicable. The challenge was to build buildings better and renovate them better by reducing emissions, focusing on energy, water, and transportation emissions. Today, we have 24 districts. Happy to say we have, let me get to that next slide. We have 4 districts now. In Michigan, we are the only state with 4. So we are really representative when we go to our national meetings. It's very exciting to be kind of a leader in this program. So Ann Arbor is now Ann Arbor, Washtenaw, and Lansing has just is an emerging district right now. In case you don't know, we are a private-public partnership. These are our member types. Our program is for property owners and managers. We have many businesses that support us, including 2 of them here today, Benkari and We Reuse, our professional stakeholders with us. And then we have a lot of over 40, quite close to 50 now, community stakeholders, and Green Living Science is an important community stakeholder with us today. In case you don't know who our board is, here are our board members. I won't keep this up too long, but you probably recognize some of the companies. It's really important for us to have property managers and building owners in the mix, as well as some nonprofits. This is our staff. We're growing. Kendall Kuhneman is our senior program manager. And then you can see our other staff here. And we're excited to have Avi on our call today. He is our Michigan Healthy Climate Corps intern. One of our newest projects is to be able to offer the right or the opportunity for our building members to apply for a charging station for their building. We do have a grant from the MEDC Office Future of Mobility, OFME. And these are the groups that we are partnering up with to bring this. All these partnerships are providing free in-kind services, powering Michigan Next Energy, Michigan Clean Cities, and then DTE has their incentives. Peggy Matter, who most of you know, is now running this program for us. If you are a building member and you want to apply or want some more information, please let us know. We hope to install at least 10 this year. The program will probably grow. If you aren't familiar yet, we do have best practice groups. They're very popular. We've been running them for many years. So if you're interested in our multifamily or a house of worship or a venue, please let us know. We will get you involved with our best practice groups. They're very helpful. Our house of worship group does a really special focus every year for a treasure hunt. If you're interested in that, let us know. And the EPA did a nice video on us. Super excited about this. It's on our YouTube channel. If you're interested, we are pretty honored to have them create a video on our program for Houses of Worship. Save the date for our 3rd annual awards breakfast coming June 13th at the same Zero Net Energy building. These are our partners, our main platinum sponsors. And then here's all the other businesses that are members that help bring this program to all of you. This is most of our community stakeholders, although we can't fit them all in. We probably have more by now. And if you didn't attend our January kickoff party, save the date for next year. Every year now we have a wonderful kickoff party. This year it was at the Masonic Temple. Next year, probably going to be in the same place. But if you're not familiar with the Energy Summit for Michigan, it coincides with the Detroit Energy Challenge. Well, actually, it doesn't this year. We've separated it out a bit. But this is their 10th year for the Michigan Energy Summit, happening May 8th in Grand Rapids. And this is our team for today, and I think we're ready to go. That is my update, and let me know if you have any other future questions. But we're going to go in order of reduce, reuse, and recycle, because that's the order of the 3 R's. So we're going to start off. Very proud to present Adrienne Bennett to you, the president and CEO of Benkari. She has spoken with us before, and she is one of our longtime stakeholders. So thank you, Adrienne, and I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing so you can start sharing yours.
Thank you, Connie, and good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure for us to be here. So we're going to start our presentation, which is going to be on, come on up there.
Adrienne, while you're doing that, I just want to jump back in and say that Adrienne is accompanied with Bill Johnson, and we're happy to have him too with Benkari presenting today.
And so what we're going to be discussing is water conservation and also water reuse. We've talked about this before as far as the water conservation, but what we're going to do now is talk about some standards that are being brought into our fold, because we're looking at doing more with stormwater, which all of us should really be considering and understanding the importance of what we're doing with that. And this first slide we're looking at is going to talk about the codes and the standards that are coming into our fold. Up until now, the state of Michigan has been using the Michigan Plumbing Code, as also the International Plumbing Code, working with ASPE. These are some new codes that are coming into fold and standards through some other organizations that are on the West Coast that have been very instrumental in teaching about how to use stormwater. So these are just some of the codes and some of the standards that we're going to be referencing throughout our presentation. And our first slide is going to be on a video talking about rainwater.
Adrienne, we can't hear the video.
I can't hear it?
No, when you click to share your screen, you need to also click to share your audio.
That's okay. It's not that long, right? How long is it? It's almost done. Because you'd have to go out and come back in, I think.
Let's just stop sharing your screen and then
Let's
share.
just skip it.
We're just going to skip it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just go ahead and skip it. Sorry about
Yeah, I
that.
meant to tell you that yesterday.
Okay, so some of the new standards that are coming out, it's from IAPMO. They just have some quick facts. It was first published in 2017. It's actually on the second edition, which is the 2020. It replaced the green plumbing and mechanical codes supplement. And it is the first ever standard focusing solely on achieving safe and efficient water use. It was developed using the ANSI accredited process, and it addresses water efficiency and conservation, composting toilets, which in Michigan we're not really getting into a whole lot yet. Urine diversion systems, alternate water sources, and on-site treatment systems. It includes a peak water demand calculator and a composting toilet and urine diversion checklist in the appendix. Okay, also in the chapter 4, mostly, it deals with maximum flow rates of plumbing fixtures, compliance with the Energy Star program for appliances, non-sewered sanitation systems, leak detection and control, which is huge money saving protocols for companies. Use of alternate water source for special water features, condensate recovery, landscape irrigation system design and installation, and again, a water demand calculator. Applicable to non-potable sources of water, we have gray water, on-site treated non-potable water, and reclaimed recycled water systems. For gray water, you can use that as far as laundry. You can use it for irrigation. You can use it for flushing toilets. You can even use it as far as sprinkler systems in buildings. And that's also when you're getting into reclaiming rainwater. Now, in Michigan, our code does not allow us to use rainwater or recycled water for potable water yet. That is something that is probably going to be coming shortly. But again, we are not allowed to do that in Michigan currently. That is one of the things we will be probably hearing about in the next, if not this next Michigan code cycle, probably the next one. So here's just a small picture of how these systems work. The water is collected into the piping, goes through a filter. It goes into a storage tank of some sort. It can be either above ground or below ground. And again, there it can be used for irrigation, toilets, car washing, laundry. Then again, on the right side of this, we have just the codes for it. I won't bore you to death reading you codes, but that's where it comes from. So this is just the appendix, what this IAPMO standard covers. It's product and material, safety testing, the operation and maintenance of these systems, the minimum water quality, disinfection and filtration. That's more for the west side of the country right now that's actually using this for drinking. The storage tanks and the roof washers and pre-filtration systems. And again, that's just for cleaning the water when it comes through. So you want to go to the next one, Adrienne?
Well, that's going to be, so we'd like to go back to the video. Now that we'll be able to provide the sound for it. Let me take it out. Start it. I'll let you.
Maybe hit presentation mode. Maybe at the top. Try that, see if that takes it. Then go back to your other screen, I guess. There you go. Try that now. There we go. We hear it. Don't go into it. Maybe it's all- Okay.
By 2025, the United Nations estimates that 1.8 billion people will be living under conditions of absolute water scarcity, and 2/3 of the world will be subjected to water stress. Whether due to lack of supply or pollution, water scarcity is becoming an unavoidable problem throughout the world. How can we begin to fight water scarcity? What can we do? Rain is a gift. It is nature's way of replenishing the earth, saturating the ground and filling aquifers, lakes, and rivers with water necessary to sustain human life, agriculture, and industry. Water is humanity's most precious and valuable resource, and the responsible collection and management of rainwater is crucial to its sustainable future supply. Rain is a gift, yet all too often we let it slip through our fingers. For years, this gift has been wasted. Little was done to collect and manage it, and even less was done to realize its benefits and control the detriments of its excess. But this is all changing.
If we do not maintain the water that we have now, and the quality of water, quantity of water, how is this nation and how is the world going to be able to survive then to the next century?
Well, water is a worldwide issue. So, you can think globally and talk about the water scarcity, but if you're not doing conservation yourself, then what are you really contributing to what's going on?
Share, and then I want to go to the last one. So I don't know how to get them there. That's I don't know how to get them there. So yeah. So that was our presentation.
Great. We saw it and heard it.
Sorry about that.
Are you all done with your PowerPoint too?
There was one last slide, and it's the very last one, and I'm just trying to figure out how to fast
Yeah,
forward.
now that you got through that.
Yeah, now that I got that one. Okay, here it is, right there. And go there. Now, can you hear that one?
No, we can't see your screen anymore.
Oh, share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen.
Videos always do this.
Okay, never mind. right, so-
Adrienne, do you have some last minute comments?
The
I
only-
know that you have some overall comments about what's happening in Detroit with water reduction and all that.
So yes, what we like to summarize is that the importance of where and what we need to take seriously into consideration, the importance of water and how we need to start rethinking, getting ourselves acclimated to where we're headed. Even though we are in a Great Lakes state, we need to understand that what the West Coast is dealing with, we will eventually be there. And we need to understand that the sooner we start changing our paradigm of how we think, we'll be able to adapt this a lot sooner. And it won't be as challenging for us as we make these changes, because the changes need to really come. So basically, we're introducing you to the new standards that are being introduced. And once the government provides us with the credits and we understand what needs to be done so that we will have this water to survive on, we will be able to move forward, I would hope, collaboratively, together and make this happen. Because it's something we all need to start thinking about very seriously. We did have some droughts in Michigan last year. There were people who were concerned that their grass was getting all crunchy, and that's just the beginning of what's going to happen. So we need to start really thinking about where we're headed. So thank you for allowing William and I to give our presentation today. This is Benkari, and we're going to start thinking more about potable stormwater. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Important. We've touched so much on energy in our district. And now we also have to start to look at water reduction more and the use of rainwater and stormwater in new ways. So thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
All right, our next presenter is Kelly. She's on the recycling front, or reuse, I should say, sorry, the reuse front. And she's sharing her screen. So take it away, Kelly Urban from We Reuse.
Thanks, Connie. Again, I'm Kelly Urban with We Reuse. We are a sustainability company focused on eliminating single use with reusable solutions. We're a veteran and woman-founded business, and all of our products are sourced and made in the USA. I'm here to discuss the benefits of implementing reuse in your business, school, arena, pretty much anywhere you can implement reusable solutions. Oops, I'm going to go back a slide. There we go. The first reason for implementing reusable solutions, mainly stainless steel, and is due to the fact that stainless steel is healthier, especially for children. According to the Academy of Pediatrics, eating meals on plastic and styrofoam can disrupt kids' hormone and endocrine development. This can cause higher rates of cancer, obesity, and other problems. And the main reason that they state this is due to a lot of the endocrine disrupting chemicals, also known as EDCs, that are often found in plastics as well as styrofoam. I didn't list all of them. I didn't want to get into every chemical that could possibly be harmful. I listed the ones that probably most people have heard of, or I guess I would say look out for. Should be aware of trying to find products, especially in foodware, that don't have BPAs, PFAS. I mentioned lead because there are stainless steel products that do contain lead. We do not have any in ours. And with these EDCs, the Endocrine Society says that they are significant contributors to environmentally related diseases. As far as We Reuse in our company, our stainless steel products are in the process of being certified. We are very excited that we are working with the Center for Environmental Health in getting the platinum level green screen certification. This is the highest level of safety standard for food serviceware. And we are currently in that process of getting the certification for all of our stainless steel products. Another benefit to implementing any reusables in your school, business, arena, pretty much anyone on this call, is to reduce the landfill waste. This example, it shows that by eliminating single use, you can save pretty much 67 pounds of waste per student. That's how much goes in the landfill per student at a school. I share this because a lot of schools use plastic. They use plastic spoons, forks, as well as the plastic wrappers that they come in. And in just one instance, you can get rid of 4 pieces of plastic by using one stainless steel spork. And an average school, by implementing reusables, can reduce around 18 tons of garbage. This is based on a school of about 500 students. I know this group is focused on emissions, so I thought I would share a slide to discuss Scope 3 emissions. Upstream and downstream in your business, there are several areas of emissions that you can reduce or eliminate by implementing reusable stainless steel. The 3 that I'm highlighting here are mainly fuel and energy. This is the fuel and energy you save by transportation to and from landfills, as well as transportation and distribution from shipping, unless orders of single use, and then also the cost associated of operational waste and the actual waste that goes to the landfill is a significant Scope 3 emission. Most people ask the question, how expensive will this be? Well, this is the opposite. It actually, by implementing reusables in your business, you can save money. Seattle Zero Waste, Seattle is at the forefront of implementing reusables. They were also at the forefront of starting with compostables and switching now to more reusables due to the cost savings and the fact of just getting rid of single use, no matter what type of single use it is, and moving to reusables. Their site, if you go to it, will show that the average savings for all small businesses is between $3,000 and $22,000 per year. And there was a case study done by Clean Water Action, and I highlight this because they went entirely to reusables. This is from Franciscan Charities in Newark, New Jersey. They are a soup kitchen that serves hot lunch programs 5 days a week, and they switched to reusables. They got rid of their single-use forks, spoons, the plastics they came in, switching to stainless steel. They switched their styrofoam clamshells to ceramic plates. They switched their single-use cups to ceramic mugs and had a savings of over $47,000. They also saved over 10,000 pounds of annual waste. Also, along the lines of saving money, we do have organizations we work with to get rebates and subsidies. If you are a business that is switching from single use and can show that you have bought single use in the past and are wanting to switch to reusable stainless steel, we can work with you on getting subsidies and rebates for the cost associated with buying the reusables. I stated earlier that all of our products are sourced and manufactured in the US. But here I just want to talk about why. And the main reason is that in order to really be a full sustainability company, we felt we needed to focus on all aspects. And the first one was, in order to make a product and ship the product to our customers, we wanted to reduce the largest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, which is transportation, and one of them being especially ocean shipping. So we make our products in the US to reduce the transportation emissions. Also, there are higher environmental standards in the US in manufacturing, making sure what products, chemicals go into products, what products go into other products. And that was another reason, plus we will create more jobs. Okay, in summary, I know I went pretty fast and I'm here for questions. And I'll manage the chat room at the end. But in summary, why should your business, and more importantly, who in this audience is willing to make that effort or start the effort to switch to reusables? More importantly, reusable stainless steel that is made in the US. And the summary that why you should do this, most importantly, it's healthier for everyone. Less landfill waste, it reduces the carbon emissions as well as the carbon footprint, it saves money, and there will be more jobs in the US. When we reuse, we save the planet. That's all I have. Again, I'm Kelly Urban. I'll leave my email on the screen. I can also put it in the chat. I do see some chat questions, but Connie, I'll let you navigate that. And I'm here at the end for questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. Yeah, we got a few questions we'll get to after Natalie. Thank you. That was great. Great information. Okay. So next we are going to hear from Natalie from Green Living Science, who most of you know. Welcome, Natalie. We're happy to hear you talk about the recycling and whatever you want to from Green Living Science. We know you're just such a big, important part of our community. We're excited to hear what you have to say. So take it away.
Thank you so much, Connie. Appreciate the introduction. Hi, everyone. As Connie mentioned, Natalie Jakub. I'm the Executive Director of Green Living Science. We are a nonprofit organization here in the city of Detroit teaching recycling education and waste reduction. So excited to be here to kick off Earth Day or Earth Week and talk about recycling. So we know in our work, the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, and they are important in that order. So we highly encourage those first 2, and we know that recycling should be the last option. But we also think it's important for people to understand what that means when we talk about recycling. So just quickly, our organization, we've been incorporated since 2011. We are a growing team. This is our newest team. Justine is here with us on this call. She oversees our recycling programs. So if for any reason there's a chance we might be able to work with you, you'll probably get a chance to work with her. So we work within 3 pillars, supporting businesses, youth, and the community. And I'm not going to spend too much time. I know most of you probably know this information, but why it's important for us to recycle is we're taking natural resources from our environment, we're making them into products, we're using them, and then we're throwing them away. So we want to encourage a circular economy by practicing what we're referencing as the 5 R's for our adult audiences, so that we can take those items out of landfill or sending them directly to a waste disposal method and putting them back into circulation. So our soup cans, our cardboard boxes, our plastic, we want to keep those things from just going and rotting in a landfill or being incinerated in some cases, as we had here up until 2019. What are the 5 R's? So we like to add some very important ones. The number 1 should be refused. So saying no to materials that you don't need. So one of my favorite examples, one that I do most often, is if I'm going to get an oil change and they're offering me a coffee, if I see a styrofoam cup, I'm usually going to say no. Or just saying no to things that you have at home already. Going to, let's say, McDonald's and grabbing a coffee you're going to take home and you already have cream and sugar there. Just avoiding those single-use plastics. And that's kind of what Kelly had just touched on. So refuse, obviously, reduce, reuse, recycle, and then we throw a 5th one in there called rot, where we can start to practice composting of our food waste. Oops. So we have a video, well, maybe I guess there's a little bit of time to show it, of what happens to recycling after it's picked up at the curb. So let me quickly change my audio. Okay.
Across the world, people use materials every day. Some of these materials can be thrown into the trash, but certain materials can be recycled and made into new products. Paper, plastic, metal, cardboard, and glass can be recycled, so make sure to put them loosely into your recycling cart at home. Make sure containers are rinsed out before placing them in the recycling cart. There are some materials that cannot be recycled, like chip bags, candy wrappers, clothes, and food scraps. On recycling day, roll your recycling cart to the street curb for the recycling truck to collect the materials. When the recycling truck is full, it is taken to a materials recovery facility, or a MRF, where it is sorted. Trucks bring recyclables to the MRF from nearby communities. The sorting process starts with workers picking non-recyclables off the conveyor belt. To help eliminate worker injuries and increase efficiency, it is very important not to put plastic bags, styrofoam, and other trash in your recycling cart. Remember to put your recyclable materials loose in your cart and not in a plastic bag. Using gravity and V-screen rotators, paper and cardboard are sifted out while the heavier materials like plastic, metal, and glass fall into the conveyor belt below. The paper and cardboard are pushed up by the rotators into a bin to be baled. As heavier materials move along the conveyor belt, a strong magnet is used to collect ferrous metals like steel. Some metals, like aluminum, cannot be collected using magnets. Instead, the MRF uses an eddy current, which is like a reverse magnet, to sort and collect these materials. Again, using gravity, the glass falls into a bin while the plastics continue on a conveyor belt. Optical scanning uses light beams to blow puffs of air to sort the different types of plastics. Once materials are sorted and packaged into large bales, they are sent to recycling facilities where each material is changed and made into new products. Recycling materials into new products conserves natural resources. You can buy new products made from recycled materials at almost any store. Just look for the label. Buying recycled products helps reduce our impact on the environment.
So we like to show that video because there's a, especially around Earth Day, and we're being mindful of our impact on the planet, why, how recycling works, why it's important not to put certain things in our recycling containers so that we're not contaminating the recycling streams. So we are contractors for the City of Detroit's curbside recycling program. So we've been able to help participate and support increasing the curbside recycling participation rate to 40%, bringing on 84 municipal buildings to the recycling program. We've been helping to bring it to city parks and public spaces, and with the commercial recycling program have over probably over 49 customers now that have been brought online. Recycling at home in Detroit, single family homes, duplexes, or apartment buildings with 4 or less units are able to participate in the curbside recycling program. And with the commercial recycling program, especially if anyone here is located in Detroit and want to participate, we have great program offering that's pretty affordable considering what other waste haulers charge for 96-gallon containers, free 18-gallon containers, and 450-gallon, what we're calling dumpsters, to start recycling within the city. We have a Be Green Business program. So if you're a business that's not located in the city of Detroit, we have this program developed to assist to establish waste reduction and recycling programs in your facility. So that's a program that Justine is overseeing. We're currently supporting Ally Financial, which is downtown. We've helped Henry Ford Health. We've helped our friends at Bedrock, and many others throughout the city and surrounding cities as well. In our recycling bins, these are the materials that we want to put in there: paper and cardboard, metal, glass, and hard plastic. So we like to encourage people to stop trying to, wish cycle and put things in there that may potentially be contaminated items, and stick to what those standard items might be. And typically they're things you'll find in your kitchen. Within the city of Detroit, there are other resources we want to encourage people to take advantage of. Recycle Here is a free drop-off facility. Some of the items that we accept that are not collected in recycling programs at home are styrofoam and plastic bags. We also take things like books and have a free thrift store that we call the Junk Hole. But you can also bring, if you bought a giant TV and have a huge box that won't fit in your container, you can bring those cardboard boxes to us and we put them in a compactor. This is free for Detroit residents, and we just ask for a small donation from anyone outside of the city. Household hazardous waste within the city of Detroit is also free for residents and open every week, which is most cities don't have a free program that they can access this often. You usually have to wait for a hazardous waste drop-off day, but here we can take it every Thursday and every 4th Saturday of the month. Within Wayne County, there are also other resources for household hazardous waste drop-off. We have a voucher program that residents can get whenever they want to drop it off, or they have their 4 collection events throughout the year at various cities throughout Wayne County. A composting program that is available for subscription is through Midtown Composting. It's a weekly and bi-weekly compost pickup service. I participate. You get a 5-gallon bucket. You fill it up, you put it on your front porch, and they'll come and bring you a clean one. Here you can put things from meat and bones and grease to pizza boxes and other BPI certified products. They also offer pet waste service. So this Earth Day, try and reflect on if you are a wish cycler. Are you putting things in the recycling bin that aren't able to be collected? If you are, it's a good time to kind of pull back on that. We'd rather you put things in that you know can be recycled rather than hope that can be recycled. So when in doubt, throw it out. Keep this in mind for some of those hard to know if they're recycled items. If you're even questioning if it can be recycled, go ahead and just throw that item away, or you can contact any of us at Green Living Science and we're happy to support and answer your questions. Here is just a quick example of a good recycling bin versus some that shouldn't look like this. So we got a clean recycling, nice and loose in your cart on the left. In the middle, we have recycling, but it's in plastic bags. So unfortunately, those are going to be thrown away. And then on the right, we have things like fabric, yard waste, and a shovel handle. Obviously, that bin is not being used appropriately. It's a team effort. So whether you're thinking about your workplace or at home, help each other. Try to gently remind people if something can't be recycled. And if you're not sure, ask. So that's all I have for you. I'm happy to answer any recycling questions you might have, or things you've been wondering if it can be recycled. My contact information is here if you'd like to reach out to coordinate working together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natalie. Natalie, she told me a long time ago the slogan, when in doubt, throw it out. So I'm not a wish cycler anymore, whatever you called it. Every time I don't know if it should go in, I throw it out. So thank you for that tidbit there. Thank you, all three speakers. If you guys, Adrienne, you can turn your screen, yeah, there you go. And Kendall, who's here, is going to field through some questions. If she's
All
still
right.
here.
Yeah,
There she is. There she is. Great.
we just had a few questions in the chat, so we might open it up to folks after I get through these. And Peggy, feel free to, is Peggy still here? Looks like Peggy may have hopped off. Oh, there she is.
No,
Yes.
I'm here.
Feel free to expand on your first question because I wanted to make sure we're asking Adrienne. But you asked if there was a website for this standard. It was during her presentation when she was speaking.
Talking about the IAPMO standard, and I wondered if there was a website with more information.
It would be.
We're looking at the packet now, and we don't see one. Let me get back with you if that's okay with you. And but IAPMO is national, and I'm quite sure there is one. We just do not have it available at this moment.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you for your question.
And Adrienne, we have another question for you from Peggy. Do the savings include increased use of water for, oh, I'm sorry, this was not for you, but it's water related. This is for Kelly. Do the savings include increased use of water for washing the reusables?
It does. So when you factor in your savings cost, it goes through various factors and water is included in that. I put a link in the chat. It's an excellent article by Upstream Solutions called Reuse Wins. And one of the stats they give that after washing, like stainless steel, a stainless steel spork or fork, after only 2 washes, you're now positive on every environmental aspect moving forward. And it's a really good article, but overall you have to look, we're all in this together. So if you look at like from a overall perspective, there is a lot of water in the production of single use. So if you look at the overall production of how much single use was the water that was used to make the single use and what you are contributing to the overall savings on water, I encourage you to just think of that. It's a bigger picture, but your overall company still saves. But looking at the bigger picture, we all win. So that's my answer on the savings of water.
And there was one additional question for you, Kelly from Justine with Green Living Science. What might the initial investment of switching to reusables be?
That would totally depend on the number of users, like anywhere from small business to large. I would probably just say, email me, let me know your quantities, and I would be able to give you more of a quote. That would just totally depend on the quantities. And like my case study, I had said before, they switched every single part of their soup kitchen. And some people start with just one item, or they decide to start with all. So I guess it would be dependent on the quantity, would be my answer. But feel free to email me if you would like a quote.
And you do have some subsidies that can help with that too.
Yes. And that would help too as well. If you're currently using single use and you're wanting to get rid of that, we can look into those subsidies and rebates.
Okay. And the final question Natalie was able to answer in the chat. Tony was asking about battery recycling. And Natalie mentioned that those are considered hazardous waste. So those would go to the hazardous waste drop-off locations or also at Home Depot or other hardware stores. Let me see. John has a question. How much does the water system cost? So this is for Adrienne.
That is going to vary with these systems. Unfortunately, I was not able to show the last slide because it shows that these containers can be either above ground or below ground for commercial buildings. And with your architectural team, is going to go back with, if you're looking at building a new building, this is going to be a design. It's going to be with with the plumbing engineers. I cannot give you a quote as to what the cost would be because that's going to be something depending on the size of your building, what you're looking, the square footage, what's all going to be involved. So this is something I could not answer today. Is this someone that's looking at building a new building or they're looking at rehabbing their building? I guess I'm asking him a question.
Unsure. John, did you want to elaborate on your question further?
I was just curious if there was a basic startup cost, is it 10 grand minimum? Maybe you can't give that. That's all.
This is
Too
true.
many variables, too many variables.
Yes, it's too many variables. And, but thank you for being interested in even considering it. And Natalie, we did find a website, for the previous question.
It was Peggy, I think, Peggy.
It was Peggy?
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
Yeah, that
so
was me.
so basically it's gonna be, IAPMO is gonna be the initials,
Mhm.
IAPMO.org.
Okay.
So when you go in there, you would look for the standards, and the standard is called We Stand, STAND, Water Efficiency and Sanitation Standards for the Built Environment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Kendall, any more questions?
Nope. And I was just trying to
please turn
find
your.
that website so I could put it in the chat as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah, so no more questions in the chat. So we have 9 minutes left. We can either end early or if anybody has questions, feel free to
Yeah,
unmute, raise your hand, show your face.
yeah, show your
Actually,
face.
I have one for Natalie.
Okay.
I've been to some of those MRF stations and although when I was there, it was 20, 30 years ago and they weren't quite as automated as they are today. But I was surprised in your wishful or, if you've got any questions, just throw it out kind of thing. Why are not metal hangers recyclable?
Yeah, so those are an item we would call a tangler. So because of the automation of the MRF, they use a lot of rotators and things like that. So things like wire hangers and Christmas lights, they end up getting stuck in the machines. And those are some of the #1 causes for fires that happen in a recycling facility. So wire hangers are great to take to a drop off or like a scrap yard, but because of how the system is set up, they just can't handle some of those fire starter items.
Okay, or bring them back to the people who do things to your clothes.
Exactly. Yeah. Encourage them to reuse them.
Yeah, reuse them,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's because the first part, as you saw in the video, is it's manual, is people picking it off, but then they're rotating things before it even has a chance to get to those magnets. So, potentially as they keep evolving the process, maybe they can pull things like metal out more quickly. But for now, it's yeah, they're just getting stuck.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point. And when I asked you the question about what to throw out and to start to think about the process after it leaves your house, it really kind of helps clear up a lot of your questions, right? So that was a really good question, Jim. Adrienne, do you think that if there were water incentives offered through the city of Detroit for maybe, low flow toilets or items like that, that could help out reduce the internal water usage? I know some cities have done it.
The city of Detroit actually had a program where they were replacing the old full flush toilets, the 4.5, 4.6 gallon with the low point gallons per minute. And that program was pretty successful. I'm not sure why they didn't continue it, but I would have to agree with you. I would say yes. If we were to get the support either on the city, county, or state level, I would think that would be something that could be brought to them and to show the value of it. With the company we were working with, they took some data, and that was something I presented back a few years with through 2030 district, showing how much the savings were in the water, and I saw also on the water bill. We actually had a client whose water bill went from somewhere like $700 down to $70,
Wow.
and she was ecstatic.
Sure. Yeah.
But you have to look at the quantity of water closets you have in your home, then also changing the flow rate on the aerators and the shower heads. So there's multiple things that can be done in your residential home that will definitely see a quick return on your lowering your water bill.
Great. And Kendall, she can talk a little bit more about this, but I just wanted to briefly mention the new benchmarking ordinance in the city of Detroit that our all building members over 100,000 square feet will need to comply this fall, and it does include water. So, we all focus a lot on energy reduction, but it's good that this ordinance also includes water reduction or water tracking. So Adrienne, I hope moving forward, everyone will kind of, start to think about that more like they do the energy usage. Kendall, do you have any comments on that at all?
No, I
She's
think you
still here.
covered it well, Connie. And
Okay.
you mentioned this fall, but also in case people aren't familiar, this ordinance also impacts buildings 25,000 square feet or greater, but not until next June 1st. So this is going to be a significant number of buildings in the city that are going to need to pay a little closer attention to their energy and water data.
Yeah, and so our building members most of them are with us and sharing their Energy Star portfolio manager data, and Kendall's worked with many of them. So if you're a current member, we're already kind of helping you get to the point where you'll be able to comply easier. But we also have some great assistance on that. So if you have any questions, reach out to us on that. Yeah, so I think that's it for the day. We have landed right at 12 o'clock almost. So thank you to our great speakers. Once again, this will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. I'll send everybody the link probably Monday or Tuesday, or you can just go to our YouTube channel. All right. Everyone have a great day, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.